Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Preston Endress. A fire broke out, destroying a garage and damaging a home in Carbon County. Just after 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday, flames started in said garage in Packer Township near Weatherly. The flames eventually spread to the home, as the garage was an attached structure. A state police fire marshal was brought in to help the case, so the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Fortunately, nobody lived at the home, so there were no deaths or injuries. A Mahanoy man accused of setting off an explosive device inside a local chapel has pleaded not guilty. 33-year-old Kyle Kuczynski is facing felony arson and other related charges after investigators say he is responsible for detonation of an explosive device on the altar of St. Teresa of Calcutta Adoration Chapel back on May 6th. The blast caused more than $27,000 in damage, destroying part of the altar, shattering stained glass windows, and damaging other items. Prosecutors alleged surveillance video from inside the chapel showing Kuczynski running from the altar moments before the explosion. They also noted the incident qualifies as ethnic intimidation since it targeted a place of worship. Defense attorneys have challenged the evidence, questioning whether the device has been properly identified and pointing to the lack of DNA evidence. Kuczynski's case is now moving to trial. A home in Berwick is condemned after a car crash Tuesday morning. Around 7:40 a.m., a 2018 Audi sedan slammed into the living room of 83-year-old Joan Choi's home after it failed to make it around a curve in the road. Her son said she was in the bathroom at the time of the crash and is uninjured. The 17-year-old driver was also uninjured in the impact. A borough inspector has condemned the residents, according to a police report. The Wilkes-Barre City Police is asking for the public's help in identifying the person shown on screen. The person appears to be male, African American, and wearing glasses. Anyone with information on this person is asked to contact Officer Ortiz at 570-208-1051 or message the department on Facebook. PPL is moving forward with plans for a new substation and transmission lines in Carbon County, and residents will soon get a chance to learn more. The utility company wants to build a substation in Trescow and run new lines to Nesquehoning. One would tie into the Hotto substation, while another would connect to a facility beside the Panther Creek power plant. PPL says the project addresses the rising demand for electricity. A public open house is scheduled for October 2nd from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. at the Nesquehoning Recreation Center, 335 West Railroad Street in Nesquehoning. A council has voted to acquire $2.8 million worth of new voting equipment. Last night, the Luzerne County Council unanimously voted to replace their outdated voting equipment with new equipment from Hart InterCivic. They approved a 5-year lease agreement with Hart InterCivic, amounting to $2.87 million. Since 2020, the company has been using equipment from Dominion Voting Systems, with a 5-year contract expiring at the end of this year. The county plans to transition to hand-marked paper ballots at polling stations and reduce the number of ballot marking devices used. Currently, the county owns 740 ballot marking devices from Dominion to use at polling precincts. Under the new lease with Hart InterCivic, the county will use 186 ballot marking devices, one at each polling precinct. The county will continue to use Dominion equipment for the November 4th election, and starting next year, voters who mark paper ballots with a pen at polling stations will insert their ballots into Hart InterCivic scannings and tabulation devices. Coming up on WYLN News, local students are excited to learn of a new type of classroom. Plus, IRS officials are warning about a new scam to get your personal info through text messages. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
WYLN News brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton's emergency room team. Your experts in any emergency. When emergencies happen, minutes and expertise count. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is now part of Jefferson Health.
Hi, my name is Maya, and I am 8 years old, and tomorrow the weather will be stormy.
want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cher's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cher's is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
PPW High Voltage is back. Join us for all the hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action that only PPW Wrestling can bring you. Join us each and every week as we bring you the action from the Slatington Expo Center, Saturdays at 4:30, Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN. PPW Wrestling, the best in independent wrestling.
I'm excited. After 45 years in practice, I knew I didn't want to retire, but I couldn't keep working as long hours as I was. Dr. Russell Hoke came along my way, an old friend, 40 years in practice in Bloomsburg. So all you Bloomsburg Berwick people, give the office a call. Come see Dr. Russ.
Welcome back to WYLN News. The Wilkes-Barre City Health Department is offering free flu vaccine clinics to its residents. The free flu vaccine clinic will provide two types of vaccines, one for ages 6 months and older and another for ages 65 and older. It will be held this Friday from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. at the Kirby Health Center drive-thru at 71 North Franklin Street. The health department's Be Healthy bus will be on site to provide free blood pressure and blood sugar screenings at the clinics on October 2nd, 9th, 18th, and 20th. This clinic is for Wilkes-Barre City residents, and proof of residency is required. For more information and upcoming dates, contact the Wilkes-Barre City Health Department at 570-208-4283 or visit www.wilkesbarre.city/flu-vaccine-clinics. 50 years is quite an honorable amount of time for a famous tale. Because of that, the Nuremberg Community Theater team is inviting audiences all over the county to come see their rendition of the Rocky Horror Show just in time for the Halloween season. Just like the musical production back in 1973 and the movie back in 1975, the upcoming show will entertain with self-expression, breaking the barrier, and making an interactive theater experience for all to enjoy. The shows will be held at the Emerson Theater in Nuremberg, Friday, October 3rd at 7 o'clock p.m., Saturday, October 4th at 10 o'clock p.m., and Sunday, October 5th at 3 o'clock p.m. Tickets cost $15 per person. Tickets can be reserved ahead of time by calling 1-877-718-7894, or they can be purchased online at nurembergcommunityplayers.seatyourself.biz. West Hazleton Elementary/Middle School has a new venue for teaching. This Tuesday, a ribbon-cutting ceremony was held for an outdoor classroom. The project, 3 years in the making, started out as a simple shed with a whiteboard, but has since evolved into a full-fledged space for outdoor teaching. Teachers at the school say the students were cramming to use the space before it was even officially dedicated. The school district is looking to expand the classroom with new equipment and furniture in the future. The classroom is available to all classes that wish to use it. State officials are alerting Pennsylvanians about a new scam with people pretending to be from the Department of Revenue. The scheme uses text messages that appear to come from state revenue staff. Victims are urged to click links or provide personal and financial details, such as banking information, under the guise of processing a tax fraud. The Department of Revenue is reminding residents to only check their refund status through official channels, either online or by calling 1-888-PA-TAXES. Officials recommend never sharing personal details by text and reporting any suspicious calls or text messages directly to the Department of Revenue or the Attorney General's office. The way you receive tax refunds from the IRS is changing. Paper tax refund checks will begin to be phased out for individual taxpayers starting September 30th, 2025. This marks the government's broader transition to electronic payments. The change is designed to protect taxpayers. The IRS says distributing tax refunds in electronic payments is more secure and reliable than paper checks. It also speeds up the delivery of refunds and cuts the cost of using paper to produce the checks. The way that individual taxpayers file will remain the same. Most refunds will be delivered by direct deposit or other electronic methods. And for those without access to a bank account, options such as prepaid debit cards will also be available. For more information, visit irs.gov. Coming up on Tamaqua's News Choice, we join Lisa Marie for another installment of Wellness Wednesday. Plus, Wyln historian Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Part 3 of Watsontown. And stay right here on Wyln. We'll be right back.
For a better customer experience, visit Fairway Subaru in Hazleton. Fairway Subaru has been providing generations of customers with Subarus with exceptional customer service they've come to expect. Check out our selection in person or at fairwaysubaru.com. Fairway Subaru, the right car, the right price, the right dealer.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Pete Kasalika in the greater Hazleton area today.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book? One that understands the process and upholds Christian values in its business practices?
Introducing Covenant Books, an author-friendly publisher who shares your beliefs and wants to publish your story. Call us today to get a free author packet to help get you started.
We realize your book is unique, personal, and written with a higher purpose. That's the content we're looking for.
We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process with professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the industry.
Covenant distributes and sells your book online and in bookstores everywhere. We convert your book in ebook format and sell it on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and to these distributors. Our authors love us.
So if you've written a biography, a devotional, a memoir, self-help, or any genre, we can help. Be like these authors and get your book published and sold today.
Call right now for your free writer's guide.
1-800-215-3680.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lisa Marie, and I am here at our Station Circle site in Humboldt. And with me is my good friend and colleague, Christina Perry, who is a doctor of physical therapy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I should say you should be welcoming me because this is your beautiful space,
Welcome
and this is
to our
where
clinic.
you work every day. And it's absolutely beautiful. We're going to be talking about BFR therapy. That's pretty cool. So I see this cuff here. You're holding a cuff. Tell us, what is it and what are we going to do to benefit our patients?
Sure. So BFR, blood flow restrictive therapy, uses a cuff just like the ones in our hands to temporarily restrict the blood flow to allow the muscles to work harder in order to produce more strength and outcomes.
So what type of injury or what situation would I be in that you would best use this?
We've used these a lot with our athletes, but also some of our older population who just need a little bit extra help to build that strength under certain conditions.
So how do you determine who's going to use it or who's not? Like when you do your evaluation, obviously. So first, someone comes to you because they get a referral from their clinician, correct? And then you do a therapy evaluation, correct? So you're looking at everything that's going on, what happened, what they need, what their goal will be, correct?
Yes.
So then when do you decide, okay, this person would truly benefit from this?
We do want to make sure that we look at their past medical history when we're doing the evaluation, just to make sure that cutting a little bit of the blood supply isn't going to do damage or harm to certain who have past medical history that would cause any type of harm to them.
Okay, interesting. So the big thing is, show us, and we have Shannon, who is another one of our wonderful therapists here, that is going to be our patient, if you will. So show us how it works,
Sure.
would you?
So this cuff in my hand is for the arm or the upper extremity. We do have larger cuffs, which would be used for the legs. I'll put this cuff on Shannon. Okay. And the cuff will inflate, okay? It will take your blood pressure and then inflate to a certain percentage based on what we want to restrict. So for the arms, we would want to restrict a little bit less than what we would for the legs, just because the muscles are smaller.
Awesome. So when do you determine now the therapy is complete? They met their goal that you set for them?
Yeah. So the cuffs actually run on Bluetooth. We have an app on our iPads here that we use to determine what the pressure is at and how long the cuff is running for. We typically do a session of anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes maximum, as long as they're tolerating it well. It's nice because the cuff actually tricks your body into thinking that it's doing a lot more than it actually is.
Oh, interesting. So we have come a long way in therapy, haven't we,
have.
over the years? And it just keeps getting better, and the technology that they keep putting into it, and your knowledge as therapists just really amaze me, because you know the whole body, you know what the needs are of our patients, and I'm sure you have so many successful stories as well.
We do. These cuffs have been a pretty big hit in the clinic so far, and they've really helped to just give you that kickstart to better strengthening after an injury or to help the recovery.
You know, I have to say, when I was walking in here today, I ran into one of our Vital Choice members, and she's like, oh, we're, greeting each other, of course, and I said, oh, how was your therapy session? She goes, oh, no, I don't go anymore, but I love my therapist, so I just came to see her and say hi. I'm like, this is so sweet. So you really obviously make an impact on your patients, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
As community engagement, it's really good to get that feedback from our patients and the community. Thank you so much, ladies, for showing us this BFR therapy, and thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
PPW High Voltage is back. Join us for all the hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action that only PPW Wrestling can bring you. Join us each and every week as we bring you the action from the Slatington Expo Center, Saturdays at 4:30, Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN. PPW Wrestling, the best in independent wrestling.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Watch Solo Spaceman on WYLN Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 7, and Sundays at 4:30. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
Tomorrow, the weather will be stormy.
For many years, the Watsontown Boot and Shoe Company had been owned by Henry F. Algert, who had first bought an interest in the company in 1886 and became its sole owner 10 years later, in addition to an ownership stake in the Watsontown Brick Company. Algert would eventually make another donation to Watsontown, although not in the way he would have initially wanted. In June of 1903, Algert and his wife Luella had taken a trip to Los Angeles to attend a Presbyterian church meeting in that city. On the way back, Mrs. Algert would be struck down in Chicago by an apparent stroke. Doctors recommended she immediately be taken home to Pennsylvania, and she was rushed back with a nurse attending to her. Although Luella had seemed all right in the early part of the return trip, though, she would abruptly pass away inside the train in Tyrone while waiting for a transfer to a Bald Eagle Valley Railroad train. A heavily grieving Henry desired to give something to Watsontown to honor his wife. A triangular plot of land in front of their house on East 3rd Street would be his ultimate inspiration. Algert Memorial Park, as it would soon be known, featured as its centerpiece an elaborate fountain dedicated in Luella's memory. After Henry's death in 1908, a private residence went up in the park, although the fountain would remain for many decades thereafter as an elaborate backyard piece. By 2016, Ruth Ritter, who then owned the property, donated the fountain to Watsontown Borough. Today, the Algert Memorial Fountain now stands at Bremer and Main Streets, still honoring Luella Algert. While the Algert Memorial Fountain was strictly decorative, others in Watsontown desired another fountain, one that could be used to quench the thirst of passers-by. The driving force behind such a fountain was the local Women's Christian Temperance Union, which spoke out heavily against the consumption of alcohol. On September 26, 1903, the group would dedicate a fountain on North Front Street before a crowd of over 1,000 people. The fountain would be installed in Main Street and stood there for some time until it was destroyed by vandals. Remnants of it were moved to Portland, Oregon, and still stand there today. Few things can shock a community and make it feel dread more than an unsolved murder. On the morning of September 7, 1897, local farmer Jacob Betts was inspecting his fields when he came upon the body of his neighbor Amos Ritter in a potato patch. Ritter, who had been a blacksmith before taking up farming himself, had stopped by Betts' house the previous evening and dined with his neighbors. Now he lay dead, severely gashed in the head, barefoot, and without the several $100s he had been carrying the day before. Betts had heard a shout and a gunshot late the previous evening after Ritter had left, but as there were many travelers on the road due to the Labor Day holiday, he had not thought much of it at the time. Police searched the area and interviewed everyone they could, but could ultimately find no leads on who may have killed Ritter. Some years later, a few locals would speculate it might have been infamous Montgomery axe murderer William Hummel, who slaughtered his new wife and children in a case that made national headlines. Hummel, a rag salesman by trade, had been known to have been in the area the night Ritter was killed. Hummel, however, denied killing Ritter up until the time of his execution. In 1903, reports circulate that the suspect had given a deathbed confession to the crime, but nothing ever came of it. Today, the case remains unsolved. Amos Ritter himself rests in Muncie Cemetery, his mystery perhaps never to be solved. Trolley service reached Watsontown in 1898 when the tracks of the Lewisburg, Milton, and Watsontown Passenger Company began service. Originally, the Pennsylvania Railroad, which then owned the land over the former canal, would not let the trolley cross over the canal, but eventually relented in April 1898. Organized the year before by several Philadelphia investors, the Lewisburg, Milton, and Watsontown was the first trolley line in Northumberland County. It crossed over the Susquehanna south of Milton on a toll bridge and provided access to Riverside Park on Milton's north side. Accidents would happen every now and then on the line, such as in 1906 when two trolleys collided head-on when the motorman of the southbound trolley forgot they had to wait at the switch for the northbound trolley to pass. Trolley service on the line ended on August 1, 1928, after which bus service was instituted among the towns. A few trolley cars still survive today as diners. For automobile drivers, they would have a unique road service to drive to neighboring McEwensville beginning in 1913. Scores of Italian immigrants would lay down a brick roadway along the 2 miles between the two towns, using horses and wagons to haul the materials to the construction site. The roughly 2-mile brick road opened to traffic in the summer of 1913, and while it appears never to have carried Dorothy and her friends from Oz, countless others would be motored down it over the next 40 years. The bricks were covered over with asphalt in May 1953 when the road was widened and straightened, but it is believed the bricks are still intact underneath the roadway today.
Tomorrow, the weather will be stormy.
You're watching WYLN TV 35,